Welcome everyone to another episode of Fans in Cool Places Drinking Beer. I am your host, Ethan Blumenthal, and here we are today at the beautiful Museum of Broadcast Communications in downtown Chicago at the SNL Experience. Our guest today, former Blackhawk and forever a Stanley Cup champion, my guy, Bryan Bickell. Let's go drink some beer. I'm ready to crack this freezing cold beer open. Bryan Bickell. What's going on? Oh, it's ripping it open right away.
No
Can't
problem.
wait. Welcome to another episode of Fans in Cool Places Drinking Beer. You ripped that open like a pro. We're not
it's
gonna
not
cheers?
my first one. Yeah.
We're not gonna cheers, man?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just so thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. So let's just get right into it, okay? You played in the OHL when you were 16, is that correct?
Yes.
So what was that like moving away from your parents when you were 16? Because when I was 16, I felt like my mom was still giving me warm milk
You're
so
still
I
on
would
the
fall
soother,
asleep.
yeah, probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? So how did you do that?
It was great. 16, I was excited. I was starting to get no more chores. I'm like, get out of the house. I live with a billet and live in a different city. I'm a town of 800 people where I grew up, and I got to go to a city that was 1 million. And it's like, this is a great opportunity. And I met my wife there, so. It turned out playing the OHL. Yep, we met when we were young, but it was awesome. It was experience that's I've always have. That's where it basically started my career. Was when I was 16 to move away and get away from the parents. It was good. For sure. Have you seen your parents since? Yes, I stopped by their house once in a while. Okay, that's nice of you. That's nice of you. So you moved away. I don't know if you've ever met a 16-year-old recently, but they're pretty dumb. Would you agree with that? Weren't you pretty dumb when you moved away? Did you get any trouble, do anything stupid? Of course, we all did stupid shit when we were young. Well, if you want to share, I promise I won't tell anyone. I think my parents know the story. 16, you get your license when you're 16. You get your learners, and then you get a G2. I didn't have my G2 yet. Started to drive around the city with my girlfriend's car. Because I needed to get around. Right. And I got pulled over. Many cops showed up. I was freaking out. They gave me this ticket, so that was good. I had a huge ticket, and I didn't have much money. I was making $50 a week. I couldn't tell my parents, so I had the girlfriend to pay it off, and it took her a couple weeks to do that. But that was probably the stupidest thing I've done back in the day. That was the stupidest thing? Yeah. I mean, did you have any old styles back in the day when you were 16, or? Oh yeah, I didn't. It's funny, I remember my dad gave me my first beer when I was, young, but then I grew up hating beer. I always drank rum to start, rum, Coke, something sweet. And now I can't get off the beer. It took me a couple years to really figure out beer is way better. Yeah, no, it's delicious. Yeah. What's your favorite type of beer? The light ones. The light ones. Okay, so you're loving this old style then. Old style is good. Just killing it. I don't like the high APAs. It just gives me a head. Fills me up, gives me headaches. Yeah, for sure. I can't really get too drunk off of it. Gotcha. So what was the town that you grew up in? What was that like? Big hockey place? Well, Canada is a huge hockey place, huge, right? Yeah, I heard of it. We had a little rink, 800 people. Everyone knew each other, played hockey. I moved away before I was 16 to play in a bigger city in Toronto, which is like an hour away from me, to play in a better league, better team, to get more recognized and to see more scouts. So I moved when I was 14, lived in a billet house, went back and forth with my parents, and went to a different school, didn't know anybody. I'm a pretty shy kid when I was growing up, but it was tough. But look back, it was definitely worth it. For sure. Did you grow up with any other guys who played pro hockey, NHL, anything like that? There's a handful of us that did something with hockey with. From the same town of 800 people? From the same town with college. That's pretty good odds. And that's pretty good numbers. Yeah, well, it's the water in Orno. It's something about it. But so if I want my kid to play professional hockey, I gotta move there. That's good odds. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll take those odds. No, for sure. Okay. No, it's been good. My buddies, some went to play in the American League, East Coast, college, and stuff like that. And I was the fortunate one to, make a career out of it. So you were in the OHL, and then you got drafted when you were 18. Yeah. Into the NHL. NHL. Yeah. And then you spent a few years down in the AHL. AHL. Right. Yeah. What was that experience like? I mean,
you don't know if you're gonna make it to the NHL, like.
It was cool, getting drafted by the Blackhawks in 2004, and then making my debut, I'd say like 3 or 4 years later. I still played in OHL for a couple years, and then signing a American League NHL contract. Played in the minors for 3.5 years, but getting called up and down when guys got hurt or anything like that. It was tough. Like I was ready to pack it in at times. Like, oh, I'll take that 9-to-5 job, not travel on the bus, and the stress of not knowing, and I'm doing all the right things, working hard, and I was fortunate. I got the opportunity after 2010 to make the team, and I did, and it turned out to be a short career, but overall it was definitely a fun one.
Rumor has it that you won a couple Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We drank a lot of beer.
A lot of old style, yeah. So is that what happens after you win the cup? What's the first thing that gets ripped open in the locker room?
Champagne. I know there's a lot of spraying the champagne. I know hockey players. You look at the other leagues like basketball and baseball. They all have goggles and like, oh yeah, it burns. Yeah. But you get the champagne, you get going.
Yeah.
Fill a cup, you feel beer. That's
for sure.
That's the go-to.
So you're a hockey player. You've already lost so many damn teeth at this time. What's a little champagne in the eyes?
Oh no, you don't feel anything by then. You're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You battled for months to win that cup. For injuries, surgeries, and all that stuff. To a little champagne. No, nothing stops you then. You're on cloud 9.
When you look at like other athletes, football players, basketball, baseball, and you look at the types of injuries that they have, do you kind of like roll your eyes and say like get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. Okay, we're using the F word.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of something I see the highlights every morning. I'm like, man, like I'm not saying hockey's turning into it, but it is getting softer, the league and the hockey. But you look at the injuries and it's like. I played with concussions and blown out knees and things like you can't even walk on just to play, and you see these guys like, oh, I got a blister on my finger, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's frustrating, but
yeah, that's a common baseball pitcher injury.
Which makes sense. The pitcher, I understand the blister, but like
doesn't impress
you
any girls.
You have 3 other fingers, you could figure it out,
So you scored your first goal in your first game, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was cool. It was cool. It was against.
End of story. Cool. It was cool.
It was cool. We can leave it as cool, but I can tell you how it went.
Yeah,
I was playing in United Center against Detroit. I remember Curtis Chelios was on my back, trying to check me. Yeah, I scored I think my second shot, so it was nice to score.
So 1 for 2. Those are another really good odds. So you're 1 for 2. You're a town of 800 people. A bunch of people go to the NHL, play pro hockey from there, and then you go 1 for 2. That's pretty good. 1
for 2. Yeah, it was a good one. We won. Fortunate it sucked because I put money on the board. There's a thing that like your first game or your milestone game, you put money on the board, and if there's team parties, you have to pay money for the team party. Fuck, I just got called up in minor league. I have no money. I put up, first game money. I'm like, this is great. Team wasn't very good.
So hold on. Tell me about this money board again, because at first I thought you were just admitting to betting on games right now. I thought we just caught that on live camera, and I was like, well.
There's no betting. So, like, if you play like 1,000 games or your first game or it's your birthday or your girlfriend's visiting from Saskatchewan or whatever, you throw.
Is that where your girlfriend's from?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's funny to say Saskatchewan. So, you put money on the board. If the team wins, you pay it for the team fun. We have team parties, Halloween, Christmas, blah blah blah. And then my first game was like the second, third last game of the year. So I'm like, okay, there's a big end party, and the team wasn't very good. So then I'm like, oh, I'll put some money up, and of course we win. I'm like, shit, but there's a couple $1,000 down the hole, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I would say if I was gonna spend a couple $1,000, it'd probably be to party after I scored a goal in a Blackhawks game.
Yeah, and then I got sent down a couple days later, so I didn't get the party.
But you still have to put up that money?
Yeah, I paid too.
I'm sorry. Well, listen, if you want to talk about it, I'm a good listener.
That's all right.
Yeah,
let it go.
So you're right. So you score, then you go back down a couple days later. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what the hell? Like, what am I doing? I just scored a goal. Now I'm sending back down. I got to go through this whole grind again.
I got called up with 3 games left, so I played the 3 games. The American League team was still in the hunt of, in playoffs, so they gave me a little taste to see how I did. And fortunately, you know, I scored, you know, my first game, and I scored a game later, and they're like, I was getting benched and healthy scratched in the minors. Like, shit, this guy can score in the NHL. I'm like, well, we should play him in the American League. And that was my first year of pro. Didn't play a lot, but that's what rookies you have to go through to be successful and take your licks and see how you capitalize. And that's what basically started off my NHL and pro career.
For sure. So when you got to Chicago, we had a rough go of hockey before you got there, right?
Yeah.
So then you got there in 2007, right?
Yeah.
And then you start winning cups in 2010. But before that, we hadn't seen a good hockey player in a long time. What was it like for you to watch the players and the fans kind of go through this thing where okay, we have this crappy team, and then it kind of really becomes this huge hockey town?
It was definitely really cool. Obviously getting drafted in 04, original 6 team, Chicago, the city. You get here and then you see you get this unbelievable stadium, you only get half the people in the building, and it's like, well, this kind of stinks. And then obviously fortunate with Mr. Warts, he passed, and then Rocky took over and changed everything. Put it on TV. Fans are coming in. They have 400 and whatever sellouts in a row now. It's crazy, and it's a hockey city. To see where it was to obviously leading into the 2010, 13, 15 with the cups that we won. It's unbelievable. It was a great time to to be part of a Hawk family, because I'm not saying it's never going to happen again, but it was definitely a pretty sweet time.
Yeah, for sure. 2013, that was kind of your best year postseason wise, for sure. Was there anything that clicked for you? Was it just that you grew out a longer beard type of situation, or?
I don't know. Playoffs for me was kind of like my bread and butter. Every game kind of count. I'm not saying
no big
regular
deal,
season.
bread and butter, bro. I got you, man. Okay, yeah.
It was not saying the regular season was I didn't try anything like that, but just the physicality, the level of the game, the passion, it raised up, and there was more hitting that kind of felt better in my game. As a physical guy, they take guys off game and make room for my, the Taves and Kane, where they can just kind of do whatever. And I enjoyed the playoff because the ultimate goal is to win the Stanley Cup, and you do whatever it takes. I've been through many surgeries to recover over the playoffs, and it was definitely worth it. It's going to hurt me down the road, but those memories are one and none.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So at the 2013 parade, the Blackhawks parade, I don't know if you remember this, but I was one of the 3 million people that was shouting. I was like, "Bickell's the best!" Do you remember seeing me?
No.
Damn it.
No, there's a lot of people at Millennium Park.
Okay. You could have said yes, man. It would have made my day.
Yeah, this is the first time I met you, so.
So you played a year in the Austrian Hockey League. Is that correct? Ish, like a partial year,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was different. I played in the Austrian League, played for a Czech team, it was a town called Znojmo, Czech Republic.
Say that again?
Znojmo. Tell me how to spell it? No.
I feel like it starts with a T. I'm just guessing, though. Check me on that.
So in 13, they had the lockout, right? And then
yeah.
I'm like, man, this is my contract year. I need to have a good year and, to make, bank and
right.
and do well. So I'm like, I can't sit at home for 3 months and sit in the Chesterfield and, just get fat. So
this is America. I don't know what that is.
So Chesterfield, we talked about before the show, is a couch or a sofa. Chesterfield. In
Canada, and this specific old kind of
Chesterfield
from your grandmother's house, this is a Chesterfield.
Playing video in the basement, this is at Chesterfield.
Cool. And where's that come from?
No idea.
Okay.
He just brought it up and it retracked my mind. But so 3 months I couldn't sit on the Chesterfield, so I had to go to my agent, made some calls like, oh, we're gonna go play in Znojmo. I'm like, sweet, I need to play. It was goddamn hell. We had practices twice a day, running up mountains through freaking forests. I'm like, it was good for me physically, but at the time, I'm like, why am I here? The people that you go for dinner, they don't speak English. I'm like, hey, can I have a water? They give me beer. And I was just like,
that's not the worst thing that could happen, but
no, but I'm trying to get in shape to
right.
get ready for the season. But it was good. It's a different experience. Everything over in Europe, it's definitely different. Their lifestyle and how they go around. But it was a good learning experience and got me ready for the 2013, which was, my year. So it was fun.
Yeah. So I was listening to an interview with Reed Simpson. Do you know him?
Yep.
So he was talking about how he played in the Russian hockey league or whatever, and he walked into this restaurant with and met the GM of the team, and he gave him $50,000 in cash.
Yeah.
And was like, hey man, here's your bonus, just FYI.
Yeah. Smuggle across the border.
Any type of stuff happen like that with you?
No. We got paid in euros, so it's a little bit less, but it's more obviously.
Right. Less is
more.
more.
We didn't get paid. I was just there to get, playing. I didn't get paid to really play. I just got paid to live and then get through it and go play hockey in the NHL again. But yeah, there was those Russian leagues there. There's some shadiness going on over there.
So you know some other guys that played in Russian leagues that had some cool stories?
Well, they just get an envelope of cash. They're like, what do you put it underneath your pillow or what? I'm kind of confused. But
have you watched Ozark, the TV show?
No.
So whatever, it's kind of about money laundering, okay? So anyways, if you ever get an envelope of cash, give it to me. I'll try to clean it for you because I've been watching a lot of it.
Okay.
I run a small business, so it'll work out.
Okay. Yeah. I
so
probably
take
want to
some
do
cash,
that.
skim a little bit off the top. It'll be cool, man. It'll be good. Get a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah.
So you played in the OHL. First of all, what the hell does that stand for?
Ontario Hockey League.
Ontario Hockey League.
Hockey League.
I could have guessed that.
So yeah, that was it's pretty easy.
Yeah, and then the town that you grew up in was called
Orno.
You
want me to spell it?
If you spell that and then spell the league that you played in Austria, or the team that you played in Austria.
I can't spell the team. Znojmo. Starts with a Z.
Let's just guess though. Can you just guess for me?
O-J. Has a J in there. O-Mo-M-O. Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, cool. Man,
Google
that's
it.
pretty close. I'm not gonna try. So and then you moved to a town. You said with 1 million people.
Yeah, that's the capital of Canada.
Yeah.
Ottawa.
Yeah. Heard of it.
Yeah, heard of it.
Yeah. We don't get as much news about Canada here in the States, but I've heard about the country. It seems
you guys got a lot of work over here to deal with, so don't worry about us. We're good.
For sure. What is there any other Canadian slang terms that I know about the Chesterfield now?
Chesterfield.
Anything else that we don't say here in the States? Sorry. Yeah.
We say sorry a lot.
Yeah. So it's just everyone's apologetic. You're always just feeling bad about stuff.
You look at someone wrong and they say sorry. I don't know. That's the thing that my American friends say. Obviously. Sorry, we say sorry a lot for some odd reason, but
is beer just beer?
We just don't want beer is beer.
Okay,
cold one, all
right,
that kind of things.
How do you feel about David Backes?
David Backes?
Yeah.
Yes, I recognize him. St. Louis. He played for St. Louis. He plays in Boston now. We clashed a little bit. We actually fought each other once. I remember quite well.
Who won?
He got lucky. He didn't win. He just got lucky. I could have beaten him up a lot more. He's a guy like me. He's a physical grinder, dump the puck in, meat and potatoes kind of guy, go to the net. We don't really hate each other that much, but we hate each other on the ice. You get off the ice, we're, cool as beans.
Buddy.
But
did you say cool as beans?
Yeah, you like that?
I do like that. Is that another Canadian thing?
No, I have no.
Okay.
I just threw it up. Pink.
Nice.
Cool as beans.
Love it.
But yeah, if you're all nice, you're doing your job. You need to, perform and beat the shit out of each other, and come later you can have a nice, old style.
Alex Burrows. How do you feel about Alex Burrows?
Not a fan at the time when he played for Vancouver. He's just one of those guys you just wanted to punch. There's just something about his face. You just wanted to, that saying.
Yeah.
From, was it
Step Brothers?
Step Brothers.
Yeah, something about his face.
You just want to punch. Maybe he's French. I don't have anything about French people, but yeah, he's French.
All right, so you just
take me up a little
wanna,
more.
All right. When people drop gloves, was that exciting for you? Hell yeah, we're about to go at this right now, or was that damn it, I got to do this right now? Play some hockey?
No, it's all in the moment, really. I've had a couple moments and you locked eyes with the guys and you're like, yeah, let's go. So then you drop them and then you're gonna tussle, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But it's all like different parts of the game. Like one of your buddies just gets crushed, you gotta help him and show respect of, you just got your ass kicked, I gotta go try to beat this guy up for you. But then there's momentum in games. You want to,
right.
Momentum's going this way. You want to bring it up and get your ass kicked and change the atmosphere of the game, like that kind of things. But it's the only sport you're allowed fighting. So it's
kind of insane, right?
I mean, it is, and it's scary too because the skates, ice, but it's part of the game. It's always been.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a hilarious and awesome picture of you holding up the cup. And you don't have a ton of teeth.
Yeah.
So first of all, when you had that picture taken, were you just like, okay, I just won the cup. I'm just gonna look like an absolute psycho right now?
What, am I gonna go get my teeth?
No, it's just.
So hold on a second. I gotta go to the locker room to grab my teeth because I got them knocked out. So I got them knocked out many times.
How many times?
Sticks, gloves, pucks. One time a referee was like waving outside, clotheslining me in the mouth, and like I'd breakaways, so they would just break, shatter in your mouth, and they would take bits and pieces of my real teeth. So my front four are gone, and then now I have a permanent. But the wife's like, in 13, is like, we're getting married, so you need to get your teeth done. So that's when I got the.
When did you lose your first tooth?
First tooth.
I mean, not like
probably
you were a baby,
16.
Yeah, so
you're
16.
Yeah, stick, whammy, right in the kisser. Not good. I had a mouth guard in too. I'm like, there's my teeth, and I sit in the mouth guard. I'm like, give them to the trainer, and then I'm like, I put my mouth guard and went back at it.
So you just like, you're 16 years old and you lose your teeth and you're just like, whatever, man, that's hockey, baby.
That's hockey. That's the hockey smile, right?
Yeah, for sure, I love it.